have the eligibility for Jnana Nishtha, because through Karma Nishtha, you have a particular phase, a preparatory phase of purification of the whole consciousness of an individual. But this process is not a linear one. We saw that in Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't happen in a day, number one. Number two, even though we have a feeling that we are achieving certain amount of equanimity, where we are ready for the next phase of Jnana Nishtha, it may or may not necessarily work that particular way. So he clarifies that you have to do sannyasa from sarva karma to go and sit somewhere and study the Upanishadic texts and meditate on the insights which are given there. And therefore, in the verse number 11, he said, Chittasya suddhaya karma natu vastu palabdhaye. So, whenever a particular sadhaka or a student is doing any karma, in whatever phase of his life, is doing his karma yoga, it's not because he wants to achieve any material goals in life. So you find that, say, if you look at Ramakrishna Mission or many other charities and spiritual organizations, in the initial preparatory phase, a lot of administrative responsibilities are handed over to these young entrants who are sort of young practitioners of the faith of this whole particular thing of having to say goodbye to a materialistic life and meditating and achieving some self-understanding. But it's not going to happen by sitting in the libraries or reading books. And that is why, in order to help them train their ego to lead a lean and mean life, and also to dissociate themselves. Now, there are two ways to interact with samsara. One is to accept samsara as the only truth, and then you get into it and interact with people, which can give you some shocks and sorrows from time to time, and you get entangled in it. The other one is you don't run away from samsara. You have some basic understanding of Vedanta, but you continue to interact with samsara for a while to test how firmly you are established on your path. And that's a beautiful exercise. It's very challenging. It's very challenging in the sense, I was listening to a very old monk of Ramakrishna Mission once. He was telling how he left his college and university and joined the mission, and he was transferred to Delhi, where they put him in the charge of the library, where a lot of young boys and girls come and study and chit chat. And he told Thakur, he said, "Please don't disturb me, Maharaj. Why are you putting me in the library? Because these young boys and girls, they're very distracting. And they ask hazard questions. Why did he become a monk? This, that. I want to stay away from this. Why don't you send me to the kitchen or a garden or somewhere? I don't want to interact with society." And the Maharaj, the head of that particular branch, laughed at him and he said, "Then you don't want to prepare for the next phase. You will remain a brahmachari for the rest of your life. Because the quicker you get over these inhibitions, the quicker you mature with a new understanding, where you have the ability to interact with samsara without getting entangled. That is the criteria for you graduating to a higher level of responsibility in the spiritual order." So he's saying, Chittasya suddhaya karma natu vastu palabdhaye, in order not for achieving any material ends. Vastu siddhir vicharena. Vastu here is what? That Satya Vastu, that Sakhyat Vastu, that Brahman